The law of tithing. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints pay 10% of their income, whether that's a penny or $10 million. It's not uncommon to hear stories of faithful members who have been in a period of time where they pretty much ran out of money, and it was either paying their tithing or paying their rent. I was in that situation once myself. And for me, the outcome was I paid my tithing, and then some miraculous thing happened, and I ended up making more money than I paid on the tithing, like the same day. It's actually happened to me a few times. But that's not always what happens for everybody. Sometimes people pay their tithing, and then things are really tight. What I recommend doing in this situation is going and talking to your bishop. You can just say, hey, can I schedule a meeting with you sometime? And then once you've got the meeting time scheduled, say, I'm paying my tithing, and I'm feeling like I'm not having enough money to pay for the things that I need to do or things that would be good for me to do with my family. Do you have any advice for me, any counsel? Now, hopefully you have a good bishop. Sometimes it's sort of like rolling the dice with bishops. Some are amazing. That's always been my case, but I've heard of ones that are not good. If you have a bishop that's skilled in this area, what he'll probably do is have a conversation with you about your expenses. And you can sit down and budget things out. Maybe you do need some help making your rent payments or your house payments or your food. The church actually has a lot of resources. And if you're struggling, this money is available to you. I have multiple friends and family members that I know of that have gone through difficult periods of time where they were getting food or money for their housing from the church. It's okay to do that. That's what that money is there for. And if you're in a situation where you are paying your tithing and it's so tight that you can barely make it through, you should really talk to your bishop about it. He may also have some better ideas for you. Maybe there's ways of you making more money, or maybe he might just have an idea of ways you could save a lot of money. Certainly on your housing payments and on your food, those are options. Usually your biggest expenses. When I wasn't earning very much money during my medical school years, I thought it would be easier to pay tithing once I earned a lot of money. Turns out that for me anyways, it was harder to pay tithing when I had more money. Nevertheless, hard or easy, it still remains to feel like the right thing for me to do. Even though the church has so much money now, it seems like they don't need my money. You can make a similar argument with all the people that there are to serve in the church. There's so many people in the church that do service, surely my service is not needed. I think the paying of tithing is more for us, and I think the service is more for us. How would you get benefit for paying tithing? How would you get benefit for doing service? Paying tithing has helped me to be less money obsessed. As I'm going through the act of paying the tithing, there's a little bit of mortal pain that occurs. And I reassure myself with spiritual strength. I tell myself, you know what? None of this money is going to go with me after I leave this life. I care more about keeping the commandments of God than I do about accumulation of wealth. And if there was ever a time where I did not have the means to provide for my family or my housing or my food, the church would step in and absolutely help me. And I truly feel that I have been blessed. I know of a case of someone who paid their tithing and then they lost their job. And they said, if I paid my tithing, I was supposed to be blessed financially, so why did I lose my job? So they no longer wanted to pay their tithing. And then they left the church. If you're feeling like upset feelings about paying tithing, I would also say a prayer and talk to Heavenly Father about it. If God wanted to, he could snap his fingers and suddenly all of us would be living in gold houses. But that wouldn't be beneficial for us. I also think it wouldn't be beneficial for us not to pay tithing. Now, these are my personal views, how I feel about it. I do feel that there is something ahead where the church will need those funds, similar to the 7 years of plenty followed by the 7 years of famine. I hope this helps.